Oh, oops.
Let me read a quote from her, actually. And by the way, lest I be judged, this is actually coming off of gaywired.com, but this is her quote, folks. And this is actually a really good article that breaks down what's going on. They're not even naming 6 of the people they've banned from the UK. They're listing out 10, and most of them are really extremists. I mean, they're racists and Aryans and all this other stuff. But then they lump them in with Michael Savage, who's like, a talk show host, and he can't really be called one of those things. He's really mostly establishment. Sure, he talks about the New World Order sometimes and gun rights, but he won't own up to 9/11 or anything close.
You know what probably has them ticked? He is very pro-Israel, and a lot of the hard left in England and in Europe are very anti-Israel. They're quite anti-Semitic.
Mm-hmm. That's a very big possibility. Well, let's just read what she said. She said, this is someone who has fallen into the category of fomenting hatred, of such extreme views and expressing them in such a way that it is actually likely to cause intercommunity tension or even violence if that person were allowed into the country. So in other words, speech that could cause violence by somebody else has to be banned. You see, if people are going to get hurt, we have to ban it. And that's why they're introducing this cyberbullying act. You can't get on a message board and say something somebody might disagree with, or you might get arrested. You might be a terrorist.
I think I can translate what they're really saying about Michael Savage. He is a flaming opponent of Islamic extremism and terror. Mm-hmm. And because of that, it would be offensive to the Islamic community in Great Britain, and to have somebody like that come in here, well, we can't really tolerate that now, can we?
Yeah, meanwhile, they've really buried the story that the guys that they tried to pin as accomplices in the 7/7 bombing in their country just walked away free. They couldn't even convict them. They held these guys for years, and they're like, these are the guys. They helped them. We know they did it. Meanwhile, they're running a drill at the same exact time with Visor Consultants, a 1,000-man war game of blowing up the same 3 train stations at the same time. Peter Power got on Sky News and BBC Radio and said the same exact thing, and then he shut his mouth years later when he was approached about, who were you running those drills for, Mr. Powers? Oh, I really can't talk about that. But we don't want to address those real incidences of false flag terror. We'll just go after the phony ones, and we'll keep saying that bin Laden's putting out tapes. My God, it's unbelievable. Let's go to some calls. Let's go to Howard in Philadelphia. Howard, you're on the line.
Jason, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Larry, I know you. I've met you years ago. I've been in this since probably the time that Alex Jones started in it. I'm up in the Philadelphia area, and we were a hotbed of patriots. We still are, but most of them have gone underground.
Oh, my goodness.
I want to take you back a little bit. And, Jason, hold me over if you can, because I got a bone to pick with you. I really do.
Okay, well, Larry, I got 10 minutes in this segment, so let's see what you got to say to Larry first.
Let's see if we can do it all.
Okay.
Larry, I want to take you back to the 90s. You remember the Conference of the States?
Vaguely.
Okay, I'll refresh your memory. The Conference of the States was when the state legislatures all over the country started putting through a bill through their own legislatures to send a delegation for a Conference of the States. They didn't call it a con-con. They called it the Conference of the States, and it came out of Leavitt, who I think was the governor of Utah or Arizona. You remember
Utah,
now, right?
Yes.
Okay, and the states were quietly... Right, and the states, and later became a big shot, and I forget whose administration, but the states were quietly putting through the Conference of the States in order for them, and all the constitutional scholars said this was a con-con. This was a constitutional convention, a veiled constitutional convention. Now, I'm telling you this for a reason. I was flipping through the channels this morning, and I heard Napolitano, Judge Napolitano, talking on, either it was on radio or it was on television, I can't remember which, speaking about how now there is a call for an actual conference of a con-con, a constitutional convention. And they're starting to float that idea.
It's very close to passing, by the way. It was blocked at the last minute in the legislature in Ohio. That would have been the requisite number of states, 36, 37, to convene the Constitutional Convention. So this
to his show. I've not heard anybody talking about
Well,
this.
what do you think they're going to try to pass through this constitutional convention? Because I know they can
pass
usurp
anything.
I know they can usurp the Constitution and Bill of Rights. But what do you think particularly will be on the agenda?
I don't know, but here's
the
my
ostensible reason is to control taxes, so they're getting a lot of conservatives behind it. Oh, because we will then be able to keep the federal government from taxing our IT talent.
All right, but hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second. They are able to do anything. I don't care what their reason is for convening it. Once it's convened, it is a runaway train until somebody stops it and it's agreed. And if they come out with something where they say, you know what, we're going to restrict gun ownership or we're going to restrict this, it doesn't matter because they can do anything they want. Look, the Constitution as it stands right now, I have no problem with. If only if it was enforced.
Yeah, but it's
religiously, completely. Well, that's the problem. But giving them carte blanche to go out and create something new, something that, and look, I don't even know who the people are that would be going to this, that would be deciding on what's right and what's wrong.
Well, the bottom line is, even if that were the case, I doubt that they would actually be writing anything. They'd be reading off a CFR script, and they'd just be pulling things from think tanks that they actually wanted to do.
However they're going to do it.
Yeah.
However they're going to do it, this is one of the most dangerous things in a constitutional republic to happen. Mm-hmm. We have already had our constitutional convention, and these guys, by and large, did it right. Letting the people that we got now, the knuckleheads who spend their entire lives in Congress, in the state houses, and who are nothing but politicians, they're not representatives of the people, allowing them to go in there and make changes to the Constitution is so dangerous. All this other talk pales in comparison. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get agreement. I hope I get agreement.
No,
I
do.
Larry.
I just haven't heard much about it. I didn't know we were so close to a constitutional convention. I mean, I had no idea, to be honest. I haven't seen anything about it. Maybe it's because I'm too wrapped up in these other stories and headlines. But I did not know.
We were in touch with people in Ohio just as this thing had been successfully resisted at the end of their last session. And my understanding is that this thing, could conceivably be brought back up, but that
it will be brought back up.
They were fighting
a very... It will be brought back up.
All right, Howard, listen, man, I will keep my...
Jason, don't let me go yet. It will be brought back up. It'll be put on the tail end of some bill where it'll be stuck through with the
I'll be on all turn. All right, let's go to the next guy. Let's go to Darcy in D.C. Obviously, we have to keep our eyes on that, but I just haven't seen anything about it. I'm not trying to cover anything up. It's probably not going to be in the headlines, but at some point they'd have to report on it. So as soon as I get wind of it, obviously I don't want a constitutional convention with these tyrants.
The place to keep our eye on is Ohio, because that's where the battleground is. If we keep it bottled up there, then I think we'll be successful in bottling the whole thing up, but it's mighty close.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to Darcy in D.C. Darcy, you're on the line.
Hey, Jason, how's it going?
Good, man.
I've been kind of rolling around in the truth movement for about maybe 10 years now. Mm-hmm. I'm just kind of gearing up to start going public. We built a theater in our town. I'm going to start using it to show some films. And I'm wondering... I want to show some of you guys' films. I'm wondering, if you can help me out with what
you need to do? All right, well, if you're not charging anything, we encourage you to show it to as many people as possible for free. If you are charging something, hopefully it will be a small donation, and we don't really care. Obviously, or just ask people if they can donate to donate. We allow our films to be screened at community centers, churches, theaters, whatever you can do, because we want the information out there, man. If you need anything else other than that, the best we can do is give you a DVD to view it. You go get yourself one of those projectors and you can play it right off a computer or whatever, and we encourage it. That's the bottom line. If you need anything else, email robd@infowars.com or aaron@infowars.com with a big headline, want to show your movies in a theater. Thanks for the call. Let's jump to, who do we got? We got Jimmy in Ohio. Jimmy, you're on the line. Yes, sir.
Jason.
Yes.
Bermas.
Yes.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Good. Hey, two things. And please, as a fellow info warrior, I want you to take this seriously.
Okay.
There is a song by Sinead O'Connor.
Okay.
It's called "The Emperor's New Clothes," and I was hoping you could. There's a part in the song where she talks about. She says, "Through their own words, they will be exposed." And I hope that you can play that as an introduction.
All right, I'll check it out for bumper music. Got anything else for me,
Promise me you will?
Sinead O'Connor, Emperor's New Clothes. I will Google it by the weekend.
It's at the end of it where she says, through their own words, they will be exposed.
If you can send me a YouTube link, you got a better shot at me, talking about it or using it. So send me a link to it, myspace.com/Jason Bermas. You got something for the guest or myself?
And one more thing, Jason. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, now listen. I'm not stupid, okay? I didn't go to college, and I'm not really, I'm not real smart. But I think you can get me here. I think you know where I'm coming from. People like Bob Dylan, people like Sinead O'Connor, people that are really, as Alex says, when you listen to them, you know their soul is, they come from a good place. Okay?
The GCN Radio Network, providing the world with hard-hitting talk radio. GCN, great talk radio starts here.